10 things you didn't know about Germany. There's so many videos about this. About things that you didn't know about Germany. Things you might know about Germany. Do you know about this in Germany? 25 things. There's so many videos about this. And there's just popping. And I'm like, hey, sign me in. I'm kind of curious about this. We're going to keep reacting to a lot of these videos. And you guys, let me know in the comment section below how accurate a lot of these videos are, right? I don't know. Some of them might be kind of over the top. Some of them might not be over the top. I don't know. We're going to see this one. 10 things you didn't know about Germany. Make sure you like to subscribe. Also, for more recommendations, links in the description, the Discord. Also, for donations, you can simply do it through Super Chat or in the links in the description down below. Let's jump in.
Germany is the largest economy in Europe and has the fourth largest nominal GDP in the world. It might seem exaggerated to say, but everything that has to do with the European Union and the Euro is highly dependent on Germany. In fact,
yeah, that's what I
without
heard.
Germany's economic participation
That's
and
what I
continued
heard.
support, the Eurozone would be a thing of the past. Germany's support has allowed for the continual participation of substantially weaker economies, such as Spain, Italy, and Greece, and has kept their economies afloat in the midst of horrible debt and economic mismanagement.
Damn.
So theoretically, if Germany cut the purse strings, it could send all of Southern Europe into a downward spiral. But that's probably not going to happen. And here's why. Germany is a country haunted by its past, and the possibility of being portrayed in a negative light is something that Germans just can't afford. You see, if Germany left the EU and cut off Southern Europe, you can only imagine the names it would be called. And that's putting it mildly. Because of this, Germany will be stuck between a rock and a hard place for a long time to come.
Damn.
Unfortunately, it hasn't been all beer and glory, as Germany has a pretty checkered past. If you've never been to Germany before, you probably have never heard of the Stolperstein, or literally, stumbling stone. Conceived in the early 1990s by the German artist Gunther Demnig.
Yeah, those are their little rocks that
Stolperstein
have their
is
name of some of the people that were victim. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Tile usually made of bronze commemorating the victims of the National Socialist regime in Germany. Their names and place of residence are etched into the tile, as is the approximate date of death and sometimes time of deportation to the concentration camps of the Nazis. By now, Stolpersteine have spread across Europe to countries outside of Germany, marking the popularity of the idea behind them. According to the Cambridge historian Joseph Pearson, it is not the information on the tiles that gives passerbys pause, but the lack thereof. Quote, "It is not what is written on them which intrigues, because the inscription is insufficient to conjure a person. It is the emptiness, void, lack of information, the maw of the forgotten, which gives the monuments their power and lifts them from the banality of a statistic." As a part of Germany's unfortunate past, there are some things you literally just cannot say in Germany.
The denials.
If you don't want to go to jail. Called Volksverhetzung in German, or incitement to hatred, saying certain things about certain groups of people, or denying the Holocaust and the legacy of National Socialism can actually land you in jail. Some of the
That's
statutes
crazy,
read as
man.
follows.
I still cannot
Whosoever
fathom
publicly
to that.
or in a meeting approves of, denies, or downplays an act committed under the rule of National Socialism in a manner capable of disturbing the public peace shall be liable to imprisonment not exceeding 5 years or a fine.
Wow.
Such legal measures have been debated back and forth on their merits by freedom of speech scholars for several decades now, but the German government seems intent on upholding the measures for the foreseeable future. From dark pumpernickel to light rye to everything in between and over 300 types of bread, Germany has more bread variety than any other country in the world. Bread forms a major part of just about every German meal, and with over 300 types, it's not hard to see why. In fact,
my God, look at that.
One German word for dinner, Abendbrot, literally means evening bread and indicates the importance of one's daily bread in Germany. Another popular sort of bread, rarely seen outside of Germany, is the Brötchen, which literally means little bread, which in fact is less a type of bread than it is a particular size and shape of bread. Brötchen are typically small and can be held in one hand.
That's more like a snack, right? Like you can grab that one and just like more like a snacky one.
And are possibly the most popular type of food in Germany. While most people think of beer when they think of Germany, they're really missing out on all that bread. Unlike the
lot of
United
bread, huh?
States, where piss water, otherwise known as Coors Light and Budweiser, counts as beer, Germany is rightly regarded as the fatherland of beer. Going as far back as Roman times, when Germanic tribes were cited by Roman historians for their beer brewing skills, the tradition has continued throughout the Middle Ages to the present, giving us a tremendous variety of truly unique beer. As a testament to German dedication to a pure and tasteful beer, in the Middle Ages, there was legislation introduced called the Reinheitsgebot, or Purity Decree, proclaiming that only the purest of ingredients, namely water, barley, and hops, could go into beer. Today, there are dozens and dozens of beers in Germany, many of them regional, such as the Cologne-based Kölsch,
Wow,
which
look
is
at
actually
that.
illegal to brew outside of the Cologne region. But rest assured, every type of German beer bears the stamp
Man,
of
this is
unparalleled
crazy.
German quality. Germany
Yeah,
was the birthplace of
something that I noticed, man, it's just a lot of rules, man. A lot of rules, like way, way, way,
one of the
way
greatest
too many.
and most long-standing religious and political conflicts in the world. Martin Luther, theologian and religious
Yeah.
radical, infamously posted his
Religious
95
radical.
theses on the power and efficacy of indulgences on the door of a church in Wittenberg as a critique of the Catholic Church's corruption. And shortly thereafter, Europe exploded in conflict. This action on the part of Martin Luther is widely regarded as the beginning of the splintering and fracturing of Christianity in Europe as Protestantism was born. This led to centuries of political and religious conflict,
Wow.
accompanied by mass bloodshed and loss of human life in such conflicts as the 30 Years' War, which is widely regarded as one of the most destructive conflicts in European history, and the
Damn.
infamous St. Bartholomew's Day massacre in France, where Catholics engaged in mass murder of thousands of French Protestant Calvinists known as Huguenots. Without
Damn.
the German theologian Martin Luther, modern Europe as we know it would be very, very different. You may not know it, but Germany is a comparatively young country.
Yeah, that's what
Prior to the
I
19th
noticed.
century and throughout the Middle Ages, much of what was modern Germany had simply been known as the Holy Roman Empire. But in the 19th century, under the visionary authority of the Prussian statesman Otto von Bismarck, the modern concept of the nation-state of Germany was born. Germany is often referred to as the Bundesrepublik, and this is because modern Germany is composed of 16 federal states, which all differ from each other, often in subtle ways. They are Baden-Württemberg, Bavaria, Hessen, Saarland, Rhineland-Palatinate, Thuringia, North Rhine-Westphalia, Lower Saxony, Hamburg, Bremen, Saxony-Anhalt, Saxony, Brandenburg, Berlin, Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, and finally Schleswig-Holstein.
That's
The
hot.
modern German constellation of 16 federated states is relatively new in German history, but
Interesting.
each one retains a fiercely independent character dating back to before the time of German unification. For example, the state of Bavaria refers to itself as Freistaat Bayern.
In question is what happened. I'm entering here in a weird place. Austria, right? Like, what happened there? I mean, Austria was part of the Austrian Empire. It was connected to Germany, so I think that's what happened. You see what I'm saying? Like, they both speak the same language. Why not connect it all together? Right? But some of you guys were saying, well, yeah, but you're saying like Canada, United States. Well, the thing about the Canada, United States, we've never been in a one nation, unless it was before. Even before the creation of the United States, when we were the 13 colonies. I don't think that was the. I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think about that.
which means the Free State of Bavaria. The Bundesländer, as they are called in German, all have different customs, histories, foods, and even cultures, often going back many centuries, giving them each a unique flavor despite falling under the banner of Greater Germany. Just as modern Germany evolved from many separate states that were fused together under the iron fist of Otto von Bismarck, so too is modern Standard German, called Hochdeutsch in German, an amalgam of many different elements fused into one. The dialects of Germany are even older than the regions they seem to come from, harking back to the earliest Germanic tribes mentioned by the Romans. From
Wow.
that period onwards, the Germanic tribesmen settled into many different places, and their languages evolved on their own.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the present, and you have a country with literally hundreds of different dialects, some of which are so different from each other so as to be considered different languages. For example, the High German word for squirrel is Eichhörnchenschwanz,
Uy.
but in Bavarian, it's Ochkatzelschwaf.
My
Even if you don't know
God,
German,
the hell? What the? My goodness, Lord. That's two complete different words.
you can certainly hear the difference. A Bavarian speaking his native dialect to a person from Hamburg will not be understood at all. So to communicate across the many states, and indeed countries such as Switzerland and Austria, Germans speak High German, a standardized German with a fixed grammar and set of rules, albeit each with their own regional accents. For some 4 decades, Germany was a divided land. There was West Germany and East Germany, also known as the DDR, or Deutsche Demokratische Republik, a legacy of the Cold War that ensued after World War II. It all ended when East Germany was united as one country with the West after the fall of the Berlin Wall on November 9th, 1989.
Wow, that was really
There were
recent.
great hopes at the time, with many people long separated from each other reconnected, but many of these hopes have been dashed in the ensuing decades. Close to 3 decades after the fall of the wall, Eastern Germany still lags behind its Western counterpart economically
That's so
by as much as
interesting.
1/3. Great
It's so interesting to think about, but it's not. One was a more free capitalistic economy, and the other one was communist.
unemployment and fewer life opportunities have also given rise to a comparatively disproportionate number of so-called anti-establishment groups such
Really?
as neo-Nazis, fascists, and the far right compared to Western Germany. It's sad to admit, but it just might be the case that Eastern Germany may never catch up with Western Germany, something that, given Germany's troubled history, might bring with it potentially dire political and social consequences,
Interesting.
not just for Germany, but for the world at large.
What do you guys think? Do you think the neo nationalist party is something that's coming up, or it's just like small talk? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's gonna be a huge influence on that regard, but there has been some changes in the political arena where some of you guys were concerned about some of the languages, I might say. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I would like to hear you guys' opinion regarding the neo-nationalist movement. How big it is, or it's not big enough. I'll see you in the next one, guys.